to me. Could it be a cell phone's brazen ring? But who do that dreadful thing? Could it be an iPhone or an app that's carelessly used by some poor sap? It can't be a purpose that I know, for you are all here to see the show. For everyone can surely see. We might get distracted and sing off key while wondering why
strange magic in this love of ours, rivals as we all are in the affections of our Reginald. The very hopelessness of our love is a bond that binds us to one another.
Jealousy is merged in misery, while he, the very cynosure of our eyes and hearts, remains icy, insensible. What have we to strive for?
Oh, the love of maidens is to him as interesting as the taxes.
Would that it were. He pays his taxes.
And cherishes the receipts.
Happy receipts.
Fools! I beg your pardon. Fools and blind. The man loves, wildly loves.
But whom? None of us.
No, none of us. His weird fancy has lighted for the nonce on Patience, the village milkmaid.
On Patience? It cannot be. But Patience boasts that she has never loved, that love is to her a sealed book. Oh, he cannot be serious.
'Tis but a fleeting fancy. 'Twill quickly wear away. Oh, Reginald, if you but knew what a wealth of golden love is waiting for you, stored up in this rugged bosom of mine. The milkmaid's triumph would be short indeed.
Still brooding on the mad infatuation, I think thee, love, thou comest not to me. For help you I free from thy ministration, than dukes or duchesses who love can be. 'Tis Patience, happy girl, loved by a poet. Your pardon, ladies, I intrude upon you. Nay, pretty child, come hither. Is it true that you have never loved? Most true indeed. Most marvelous and most deplorable. I cannot tell what this love may be that cometh to all but not to me. It cannot be kind as they imply, or why do these ladies sigh? It cannot be joy and rapture deep, or why do these gentle ladies weep? It cannot be peaceful as is said, or why are their eyes so wondrous red? Though everywhere to love I see, a coming to all but not to me. I cannot tell what this love may be. For so much on their minds. The truly happy never seem quite well.
There is a transcendentality of delirium, an acute accentuation of supremest ecstasy, which the earthy might easily mistake for indigestion. But it is not indigestion. It is aesthetic transfiguration. Enough of babble. Come.
But stay, I have some news for you. The 35th Dragoon Guards have halted in the village and are even now on their way to this very spot.
Oh, the 35th Dragoon Guards.
They are fleshly men of full habit.
We care nothing for dragoon guards.
But bless me, you were all engaged to them a year ago.
A year ago? My poor child, you don't understand these things. A year ago, they were very well in our eyes. But since then, our tastes have been etherealized. Our perceptions altered. Come, it is time for us to lift up our voices in morning carol to our Reginald. Let us to his door.
20 lovesick maidens we, lovesick all against our will. 20 years hence we shall be, 20 lovesick maidens
For that popular mystery known to the world as a heavy dragoon. Yes. Take all the remarkable people in history, rattle them off to a popular tune. The pluck of Lord Nelson on board of the Victory, genius of target and marketing plan, the humor of Chekhov which sounds contradictory, lack of a marriage for Kim Kardashian. Oh, Peter Bruce Lee, who's the king of karate, the charm of Miss Bachman upon a campaign, the best of an auto, a red Maserati, the 5 incarnations of Shirley MacLaine. Oh, wit of a Sondheim, the talents of Narrow Street Congress in session, which yes makes us want to weep. Franklin D. Roosevelt, Mikhail Gorbachev, Thomas Aquinas, and Henry T. Korsakov, Rogers and Hammerstein, Lerner and Lowe, Andrew Lloyd Webber, who aimed rather low. Taking these elements on an infusable, and to Madani, the pick and the crucible, set up the simmer, a heavy dragoon, and the heavy dragoon is the residue. If you want to receive for that soldierly prototype, get it the wealth of Don Trump if you can, the vocal misstylings of Beaver, and all that high force of Newt Gingrich in case you're a fan. Technical prowess of that Apple iPhone. Occupy Wall Street if you think you can. No Tea Party, please, and avoid all those bad bank loans. How about Obama? Steve Jobs is the man. The genius strategic of Caesar or Hannibal. Maybe the Vikings will win what is winnable. Flavor of Hammond, Miss Palin, a touch of a little of Gaga, but not very much of a Gilbert and Sullivan. We love them so. This song is hard, and now on with the show. Taking these elements, all that is musical. Momentum of Darlene, opinion, and rules of Santa Priscilla, and Kevin Gold. And the heavy dragoon is the Reginald. Once more on the scene of our former triumph. But where's the Duke?
Here I am.
Come, cheer up. Don't give way.
Oh, well, as for that, I'm as cheerful as any poor devil can be expected to be who has the misfortune to be a duke with 1,000 a day. Oh, most men would envy you. Envy? Me? Tell me, Major, are you fond of toffee?
Very. We are all fond of toffee.
We are! Yes, and toffee in moderation is a capital thing, but to live on toffee, toffee for breakfast, toffee for dinner, toffee for tea, to have it be supposed that you care for nothing but toffee, and would be insulted if anything but toffee were to be offered to you. Well, how would you like that?
I can quite believe that under those circumstances, even toffee would become monotonous.
For toffee, read flattery, adulation, and abject deference carried to a pitch that I began at last to believe that mankind was born bent at an angle of 45 degrees. Great heavens, what is there to adulate in me? Am I particularly intelligent? No. Or remarkably studious?
No.
Excruciatingly witty?
Oh, no.
Unusually accomplished?
No.
Or exceptionally virtuous?
No. You are about as commonplace a man as ever I saw. You are!
That's it exactly. You've described me to a T. Thank you all very much. Well, I couldn't take it any longer, so I decided to join this second-class cavalry regiment. In the army, thought I should occasionally be snubbed, perhaps even bullied. Who knows, the thought was rapture, and here I am.
And here are the ladies.
Who's that gentleman with the long hair?
I don't know.
Well, he seems popular.
He does seem popular.
book I seem to scan in a rapt, ecstatic way, like a literary man who despises female play. I hear plainly all they say, 20 lovesick maidens a day.
Here's plainly all they say, 20 lovesick maidens a day.
Though so excellently wise, for a moment mortal be, deign to raise thy purple eyes from thy hard-drawn poesy. 20 lovesick maidens see, each is kneeling on her knee. 20 lovesick maidens see, each is kneeling on her knee.
Though, as I remarked before, anyone convinced would be that some transcendental law is monopolizing me. Round the corner I can see, each is kneeling on her knee.
Round the corner he can see, each is kneeling on her knee. Now is not this ridiculous, and is not this preposterous, a thorough-paced absurdity? Ridiculous, preposterous, explain it if you can. Now is not this ridiculous, and is not this preposterous, a thorough-paced absurdity? Explain it if you can. Instead of rushing eagerly, cherish us the possible, they all got us round the line, literary man. Instead of sliding quickly, scratching with severe, splashing at us, flirting with a man. They're actually sneering at us, fearing at us, jeering at us, strictly sort of treatment for a military man. They're actually sneering at us, fearing at us, jeering at us, strictly sort of treatment for a military man. Now is not this ridiculous, and is
Angela, what is the meaning of this?
Oh, sir, leave us. Our minds are but ill-tuned to light love talk.
But what on earth has come over you all?
Bunthorn! He has come over us. He has come among us. And he has idealized us. My eyes are open. I droop despairingly. I am soulfully intense. I am limp. And I cling. Nying, nying.
Finished. The poem is finished, and my soul has gone out into it. That was all. It was nothing worth mentioning. It occurs 3 times a day.
Hello, everyone.
Patience!
Oh,
Dear Patience.
will it please you read it to us, sir?
Oh, this we supplicate.
Shall I?
No!
I will read it if you bid me.
You can if you like.
It is a wild, weird, fleshly thing, yet very tender, very yearning, very precious. It is called Oh Hollow, Hollow, Hollow.
Is it a hunting song?
Is it a hunting song? No, it is not a hunting song. It is the wail of the poet's heart on discovering that everything is commonplace. To understand it, cling passionately to one another and think of faint lilies. Oh, hollow, hollow, hollow. What time the poet hath hymned, the writhing maid, life-limbed, quivering on amaranthine asphodel. How can he paint her throes, knowing, as well he knows, that all can be set right with calomel? When from the poet's plinth the amorous colocynth yearns for the aloe, faint with rapturous thrills, how can he hymn their woes, knowing, as well he knows, that they are only uncompounded pills? Is it? And can it be nature hath this decree? Nothing poetic in the world shall dwell, or that in all her works something poetic lurks, even in colocynth and calomel? I cannot tell.
How purely fragrant!
How earnestly precious! Well, it seems to me to be nonsense. Nonsense, yes, perhaps, but what precious nonsense.
This is all very well, but you seem to forget that you are engaged to us.
It can never be. You are not Empyrean. You are not Delacruscan. You are not even early English. Oh, be early English. There it is, too late.
Red and yellow. Primary colors.
We didn't design our uniforms, but we can't see how they can be improved upon.
No, you wouldn't. Still, there is a cobwebby gray velvet with a tender bloom like cold gravy, which made Florentine 14th century, trimmed with Venetian leather and Spanish altar lace, and surmounted with something Japanese. It matters not what, would at least be early English. Come, maidens.
20 lovesick maidens we, lovesick all against our will. 20 years hence we shall be, 20 lovesick maidens
Gentlemen, this is an insult to the British uniform.
A uniform that has been as successful in the courts of Venus as on the field of Mars. When I first put this uniform on, I said as I looked in the glass, it's 1 to 1,000,000 that any civilian my figure and form will surpass. Gold lace has a charm for the fair, and I've plenty of art and to spare, while a lover's professions were uttered and Hessians are eloquent everywhere. A fact which I counted upon when I first put this uniform on.
By a simple coincidence you could never have counted upon. The same thing occurred to me when I first put this uniform on.
I said when I first put it on, It is plain to the various dunce that every beauty will feel it a duty to yield to its glamour at once. They will see her dreaming of lace in a uniform handsome and chaste. But the peripatetics of long-haired aesthetics are very much more to their taste, which I never just put this uniform on.
By a simple coincidence you could never have counted upon. I didn't anticipate that when I dressed with this uniform on.
Company, move up!
Am I alone and unobserved? I am. Then let me own I'm an aesthetic sham. This air severe is but a mere veneer. This cynic smile is but a while of guile. This costume chaste is but good taste misplaced. Let me confess, a languid love for lilies does not blight me. Lank limbs and haggard cheeks do not delight me. I do not care for dirty greens by any means. I do not long for all one sees that's Japanese. I am not fond of uttering platitudes in stained glass attitudes. In short, my medievalism's affectation, born of a morbid love of admiration. If you're anxious for to shine in the high aesthetic line as a man of culture rare, you must get up all the germs of the transcendental terms and plant them everywhere. You must lie upon the daisies and discourse in novel phrases of your complicated state of mind. The meaning doesn't matter if it's only idle chatter of a transcendental kind. And everyone will say, as you walk your mystic way, if this young man expresses himself in terms too deep for me, then what a very singularly deep young man this deep young man must be. Be eloquent in praise of the very dull old days which have long since passed away, and convince them, if you can, that the reign of good Queen Anne was culture's palmiest days. And, of course, you will pooh-pooh whatever's fresh and new, and declare it's crude and mean, for art stopped short in the cultivated court of the Empress Josephine. And everyone will say, as you walk your mystic way, if that's not good enough for him, which is good enough for me, then what a very cultivated kind of youth this kind of youth must be. Then a sentimental passion of a vegetable fashion must excite your languid spleen. An attachment a la Plato for a bashful young potato or a not too French bean. Though the Philistines may jostle, you will rank as an apostle in the high aesthetic band. If you walk down Piccadilly with a poppy or a lily in your medieval hand. And everyone will say, as you walk your flowery way, if he's content with a vegetable love, which would certainly not suit me, then what a most particularly pure young man is pure young man. I am pleased with thee, the bitter-hearted one who finds all else hollow, is pleased with thee, for you are not hollow, are you?
No thanks, I have dined. But I beg your pardon, I interrupt you.
Life is made up of interruptions. The tortured soul, yearning for solitude, writhes under them. Oh, but my heart is a-weary. I am a cursed thing. Don't go.
Really, I'm very sorry.
Tell me, girl, do you ever yearn?
I yearn my living.
No. No, do you know what it is to be heart-hungry? Do you know what it is to yearn for the indefinable, yet be brought face to face daily with the multiplication table? Do you know what it is to seek oceans and to find puddles? That's my case. I am a cursed thing. Don't go.
If you please, I don't understand you. You frighten me.
Don't be frightened. It's only poetry.
Well, if that's poetry, I don't like poetry.
Don't you? Can I trust her? Patience, you don't like poetry, but between you and me, I don't like poetry. It's hollow, unsubstantial, unsatisfactory.
Sir,
Patience, I have long loved you. Let me tell you a secret. I am not as bilious as I look. If you like, I will cut my hair.
Sir, I will speak plainly. In the matter of love, I am untaught. I have never loved but my great aunt, but I am quite certain that under any circumstances I couldn't possibly love you.
Oh, you think not?
I'm quite sure of it. Quite sure. Quite.
Very good. Life is henceforth a blank. I don't care what becomes of me. I have only to ask that you will not abuse my confidences. Though you despise me, I am quite popular with the other young ladies.
I only ask that you leave me and never renew the subject.
Certainly. Broken-hearted and desolate, I go. Oh, to be wafted away from this black akeldama of sorrow, where the dust of an earthy today is the earth of a dusty tomorrow. It is a little thing of my own. I call it heartphone. I shall not publish it. Farewell, Patience. Patience. Farewell!
What on earth does it all mean? Why does he love me? Why does he expect me to love him? He's not a relation. It frightens me.
Why, Patience, what is the matter?
Lady Angela, tell me two things. Firstly, what on earth is this love that upsets everybody? And secondly, how is it to be distinguished from insanity?
Poor blind child. Oh, forgive her Eros and golden Aphrodite. Why, love is of all passions the most essential. It is the embodiment of purity, the abstraction of refinement. It is the one unselfish emotion in this whirlpool of grasping greed.
Oh, dear.
Why are you crying?
To think that I have lived all these years without having experienced that ennobling and unselfish passion. Why, what a wicked girl I must be. For it is unselfish, isn't it?
Absolutely. Love that is tainted with selfishness is no love. Oh, try to love. It really isn't hard if you put your whole mind to it.
I'll set about it at once. I won't go to bed till I'm head over ears in love with somebody.
What noble girl. But is it possible you've never loved anybody?
Yes, one.
Ah, who?
My great aunt.
Great aunts don't count.
Then there's nobody. At least, no, nobody. Not since I was a baby. But that doesn't count, I suppose.
I don't know. Tell me all about it.
Long years ago, 14 maybe, when but a tiny babe of 4, another baby played with me, my elder by a year or more. A little child of beauty rare with marvelous eyes and wondrous hair. Oh, in my child I seem to me all that a little child should be. Oh, how we loved the child and I, how pure our baby joy, how true our love, and by the by, he was a little boy. A good old tale of Cupid's touch. I thought as much. He was a little boy. Pray don't misconstrue what I say. Remember, pray. He was a little boy who died in spite of all your pains. The interesting fact remains, he was a little boy. In spite of all my pains, the interesting fact remains, he was a little boy. He was a little boy. It's perfectly dreadful to think of the appalling state I must be in. I had no idea love was a duty. No wonder they all look so unhappy. Upon my word, I hardly like to associate with myself. I don't think I'm respectable. I'll go at once and fall in love with a stranger.
Prithee, pretty maiden, prithee tell me true. Hey, what I'm doleful, willow, willow, way. Have you e'er a lover a-dangling after you? Hey, willow, way, oh. I would fain discover if you have a lover.
Gentle sir, my heart is frolicsome and free. Hey, but he's doleful, willow, willow, waly. Nobody I care for comes a-courting me. Hey, willow, waly, oh. Nobody I care for comes a-courting, therefore. Hey, willow, waly, oh.
Prithee, pretty maiden, will you marry me? Hey, but I'm hopeful, willow, willow, way. I may say at once I'm a man of property. Hey, willow, way, oh. Money I despise it, other people prize it. Hey, willow, welly, oh.
Gentle sir, although to marry I design, hey, but he's hopeful, willow, willow, waly. As yet I do not know you, and so I must decline. Hey, willow, waly, oh. To other maidens call you, as yet I do not know you.
Hey, willow, welly, oh. Patience? Patience? Can it be that you don't recognize me?
Recognize you? No, indeed I don't.
Have 15 years so greatly changed me?
15 years? What do you mean?
Can it be that you've forgotten the friend of your youth? Your Archibald! Your little playfellow! Oh, Kronos, Kronos, this is too bad of you!
Archibald, is it possible? Why, let me look at you. Oh, it is. It is. It must be. Oh, how happy I am. I thought that we should never meet again. And how you've grown.
Yes, yes, Patience. I am much taller and much stouter than I was.
And how you've improved.
Yes, Patience, I am very beautiful.
But surely that doesn't make you unhappy.
Yes, Patience, gifted as I am with a beauty which probably has not its rival on earth. I am nevertheless utterly and completely miserable.
Oh, but why?
My child love for you has never faded. Conceive then the horror of my situation when I tell you that it is my hideous destiny to be madly loved at first sight by every woman I come across.
But why do you make yourself so picturesque? yourself. Disfigure yourself. Anything to escape this persecution.
No, Patience, that may not be. These gifts, irksome as they are, were given to me for the enjoyment and delectation of my fellow creatures. I am a trustee for beauty. And it is my duty to see that the conditions of my trust are faithfully discharged.
And are you too a poet?
Yes, I am the apostle of simplicity. I am called Archibald the All-Right. For I am infallible.
And is it possible that you condescend to love such a girl as I?
Yes, Patience. Is it not strange? I have loved you with a Florentine, 14th century frenzy for a full 15 years.
Oh, marvelous! I have hitherto been deaf to the voice of love. I seem now to know what love is. It has been revealed to me. It is Archibald Grosvenor.
Yes, it is.
We will never part.
We will live and die together.
I swear it.
We both swear it.
But, oh horror!
What's the matter?
Why, you are perfection, a source of endless ecstasy to all who know you.
I know I am. Well?
Then bless my heart, there can be nothing unselfish in loving you.
Merciful powers, I never thought of that.
To monopolize those features on which all women love to linger, it would be unpardonable.
Why, so it would. Oh, fatal perfection. Again you interpose between me and my happiness.
If only you were thought less beautiful than you are.
Would that I were! But candor compels me to admit that I am not.
Our duty is clear. We must part, and forever.
Oh, misery! And yet I cannot question the propriety of your decision. Farewell, Patience.
Farewell, Archibald. But stay.
Yes, Patience?
Although I may not love you, for you are perfection, there's nothing to prevent your loving me. I'm plain, homely, unattractive.
Why, that's true.
The love of such a man as you for such a girl as I must be unselfish.
Unselfishness itself.
Oh. Though to marry you would very selfish be.
Hey, but I'm doleful, willow, willow, welly.
You may all the same continue loving me.
Hey, willow, welly, oh. All the world ignoring, I'll go on adoring. Hey, willow, welly, oh.
it you have done? Now tell us, we pray you, why thus they array you. O poet, how say you, what is it you've done? O poet, how say you, what is it you've done?
Of right sacrificial my sentence judicial. This seems the initial, then why don't you run? They cannot have led you to hang or behead you, nor may they all wed you, unfortunate one.
Then tell us, we pray you, why thus they array you. O poet, how say you, what is it you've done?
Heartbroken at my patience's barbarity, by the advice of my solicitor, in aid of a deserving charity, I put myself up to be raffled for.
By the advice of his solicitor, he's put himself up to be raffled for.
Oh, horror! Urged by his solicitor, he's put himself up to be raffled for.
Oh, heaven's blessing on his solicitor.
A hideous curse on his solicitor.
Heaven's blessing on his solicitor.
A hideous curse on his solicitor.
A blessing
A curse
on his
A curse on his solicitor.
Stay, we implore you, before our hopes are blighted. You see before you the men to whom you're plighted.
Stay, we implore you, for we adore you. To us you're plighted to be united. Stay, we implore you.
Your maiden hearts are do not steal to pity's eloquent appeal. Such conduct British soldiers feel. Sigh, sigh, all sigh. To foam and steel we rarely see the British soldier bend a knee, yet one and all they kneel to thee.
Kneel, kneel, all kneel.
Our soldiers very seldom cry, and yet we need not tell you why. A teardrop dews each martial eye.
Weep, weep, all weep.
Carry on.
We soldiers very seldom cry, and yet we need not tell us why.
Teardrop dews each martial eye.
Weep, weep,
Come, walk up and purchase with avidity. Overcome your diffidence and not your timidity. Tickets for the raffle should be purchased with avidity. Put in half a guinea and a husband you may gain. Another kind of pottery, early oriental and from modern terracottery. Put in half a guinea, you may draw him in a lottery. Such an opportunity may not occur again.
Such a gentle blue and white and other kinds of pottery, for early oriental down to modern terracottery. Put in half a guinea, you may draw him in a lottery. Such an opportunity may not occur again.
we bid for all the way, the well, the green, the red, the green, the red.
shouldn't I?
Oh, fortune, this is hard. Blindfold your eyes. 2 minutes will decide who wins the prize.
Oh, fortune, to my aching heart reclined. Like us, thou art blindfolded, but not blind. Just raise your bandage thus, that you may see, and give the prize, to me.
Come, Lady Jane, I pray you draw the first.
He loves me best.
I want to know the worst.
Hold, stay your hand.
What means this interference of this bold girl? I pray you make a clearance.
Away with you, and to your milk pails go.
She wants a ticket. Take it, doesn't it?
If there be pardon in your grace for this poor penitent, who with remorseful thought of grace sincerely doth repent, if you with one so lowly still desire to be allied, then you may take me if you will, for I will be your bride.
Oh, shameless one, oh, Lord, missing away, you have no taker with. Go take your wing, you shameless one, you bold-faced thing.
How strong is love, for many and many are weak. She's loved me fondly, but has feared to speak. But nature, for restraint too mighty far, has burst the bonds of heart. And here we are.
No, Mr. Bunthorne, no, you're wrong again. Permit me, I'll endeavor to explain. True love must single-hearted be.
Exactly so.
From every selfish fancy free.
Exactly so.
No idle thought of gain or joy a maiden's fancy should employ. True love must be without alloy. True love must be without alloy.
Exactly so.
Imposture to contempt must lead.
Exactly so.
Blind vanity's dissentency.
Exactly so.
It follows then a maiden who devotes herself to loving you is prompted by no selfish view. Is prompted by no selfish view.
Exactly so.
Are you resolved to wed this shameless one? Is there no chance for any other?
None.
open-hearted troubadour, whose mind's aesthetic, and whose tastes are pure.
Aesthetic! He is aesthetic!
Yes, yes, I am aesthetic and poetic.
Then we love you.
They love it horror.
They love it horror.
They love me, horror, horror, horror.
Have deserted Reginald and sworn allegiance to his rival, and all, forsooth, because he has glanced with passing favor on a puling milkmaid. Fools! Of that fancy he will soon weary, and then I, who alone am faithful to him, shall reap my reward. But do not dally too long, Reginald, for my charms are ripe, Reginald, and already they are decaying. Better secure me ere I have gone too far. Sad is that woman's lot, who year by year sees one by one her beauties disappear. When time, grown weary of her heart-drawn sighs, impatiently begins to dim her eyes,
pearly gray. To make up for lost time as best she may. Silvered is the raven hair, spreading is the parting straight, mottled the complexion fair, halting is the youthful gait, hollow is the laughter free, spectacled the limpid eye. Little will be left of me in the coming by and by. Little will be left of me in the coming by and by. Fading is the taper waist, shapeless grows the shapely limb, and although severely laced, spreading is the figure trim, stouter than I used to be, still more corpulent grow There will be too much of me in the coming by and by. There will be too much of me in the coming by and by.
The old, old tale. How rapturously these maidens love me, and how hopelessly. Oh, patience, patience with the love of thee in my heart. What have I for these poor mad maidens but an unvalued pity? Alas, they will die of hopeless love for me, as I shall die of hopeless love for thee.
Sir, will it please you read to us?
Yes, child, if you will. What shall I read?
One of your own poems.
One of my own poems. Better not, my child. They will not cure thee of thy love.
Mr. Bunthorne used to read us a poem of his own every day.
And And to do him justice, he read them extremely well.
Oh, did he so? Well, who am I that I should take upon myself to withhold my gifts from you? What am I but a trustee? Here is a decollete, a pure and simple thing, a very daisy. A babe might understand it. To appreciate it, it is not necessary to think of anything at all.
Let us think of nothing at all.
Gentle Jane was as good as gold. She always did as she was told. She never spoke when her mouth was full, or caught blue bottles their legs to pull, or spilt plum jam on her nice new frock, or put white mice in the 8-day clock, or vivisected her last new doll, or fostered a passion for alcohol. And when she grew up, she was given in marriage to a first-class earl who kept his carriage. I believe I am right in saying there is not one word in that decollete which is calculated to bring the blush of shame to the cheek of modesty.
Not one. It is purity itself.
Here's another. Teasing Tom was a very bad boy. A great big squirt was his favorite toy. He put live shrimps in his father's boots and sewed up sleeves of his Sunday suits. He punched his poor little sisters' heads and cayenne peppered their 4-post beds. He plastered their hair with cobbler's wax and dropped hot halfpennies down their backs. The consequence was he was lost totally and married a girl in the Cour de Ballet.
Mark you how grandly, how relentlessly the damning catalogue of crime strode on, till retribution, like a poised hawk, came swooping down upon the wrongdoer. Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, sir, you are indeed a true poet, for you touch our hearts, and they go out to you.
Ladies, I am sorry to appear ungallant, but this is Saturday, and you have been following me around ever since Monday. I should like the usual half-holiday. I will take it as a personal favor to me if you will allow me to close early today.
Oh, sir, do not send us from you.
Poor girls. It is best to speak plainly. I know that I am loved by you, but I never can love you in return. For my heart is fixed elsewhere. Remember the fable of the magnet and the churn.
But we don't know the fable of the magnet and the churn.
Don't you?
No!
Then I will sing it to you. Magnet hung in a hardware shop, and all around was a loving crop of scissors and needles, nails and knives, offering love for all their lives. But for I and the magnet felt no whim. Though he charmed iron, it charmed not him. From needles and knives and nails he turned, for he'd set his love on a silver churn.
A silver churn.
A silver churn. His most aesthetic, very magnetic fancy took this turn. If I can wheedle a knife or a needle, why not a silver churn?
His most aesthetic, very magnetic fancy took this turn. If I can wheedle a knife or a needle, why not a silver churn? Oh!
Express surprise, the needles opened their well-drilled eyes, the penknives fell short, no doubt, the scissors declared themselves cut out. The kettles they boiled with rage, 'tis said, while every nail went off its head, and hither began to roam, till a hammer came up and drove them home.
It drove them home.
It drove them home, while this magnetic, peripatetic lover he lived to learn. By no endeavor can magnet ever attract a silver churn.
While this magnetic, peripatetic lover he lived to learn. By no endeavor can magnet ever attract a silver churn.
This mysterious fascination I seem to exercise over all I come across. A curse on my fatal beauty, for I am sick of conquests, no offense. Patience.
I have escaped with difficulty from my Reginald. I wanted to see you so much that I might ask if you still love me as fondly as ever.
Love you, if the devotion of a lifetime.
Hold, and hand me I scream. Ah! If you are a gentleman, pray remember that I am another's. But you do love me, don't you?
Madly, hopelessly, despairingly.
That's right. I can never be yours, but that's right.
And you love this bunthorn?
With a heart-whole ecstasy that withers and scorches and burns and stings. It is my duty.
Admirable girl, but you are not happy with him.
Happy? I am miserable beyond description.
That's right. I can never be yours, but that's right.
But go now. I see dear Reginald approaching. Farewell, dear Archibald. I cannot tell you how happy it has made me to know that you still love me.
Ah, if only I dared.
Sir, this language to one who has promised to another. Oh, Archibald. Think of me sometimes, for my heart is breaking. He is so unkind to me, and you would be so loving.
Loving.
If that's one step and I am a good and pure woman, I scream. Ah! Farewell, Archibald. Stop there. Think of me sometimes. Advance at your peril. Once more, adieu.
Crying, eh? What are you crying about?
I've only been thinking how dearly I love you.
Love me. Bah!
Love him. Bah!
Don't you interfere.
He always crushes me.
What is the matter, dear Reginald? If you have any sorrow, tell it to me that I might share it with you. Oh, it is my duty.
With whom were you talking just now?
With dear Archibald.
With dear Archibald. Upon my honor, this is too much.
A great deal too much.
Do be quiet.
Crushed again. Ah.
I think that he is the noblest, purest, and most perfect being I have ever met. But I don't love him. It's true that he is devotedly attached to me, but I don't love him. Whenever he grows affectionate, I scream, "Ah!" Oh, it is my duty.
I dare say.
So do I dare say.
Why, how could I love him and love you too? You can't love two people at once.
I don't believe you know what love is.
Yes, I do. There was a happy time when I didn't, but a bitter experience has taught me. Love is a plaintive song, sung by a suffering maid, telling a tale of wrong, telling of hope betrayed, torn to its changing heart, sorry when he is sad, blind to his every note, merry when he is glad, merry when he is glad. Love that no wrong can cure, love that is always new, that is the love that's pure, that is the love that's true. Love that no wrong can cure, love that is always new, that is the love that's pure, that is the love, the love that's true. Rendering good for ill, smiling at every frown, yielding your own self-will, laughing your teardrops down, never selfish will, trouble or pain to stir, everything for him, nothing at all for her, nothing at all for her. Love that will endure, though rewards be few, that is the love that's pure, that is the love that's true. Love that will endure, though rewards be few, that is the love that's pure, that is the love, the love that's true.
Everything has gone wrong with me since that smug-faced idiot came here. Before that, I was admired, I may say, loved.
Too mild, adored.
Do let a poet soliloquize. The damsels used to follow me wherever I went. Now, they all follow him.
Not all. I am still faithful to you.
Yes, and a pretty damsel you are.
No, not pretty. Massive! Massive! Cheer up! I will never leave you, I swear it.
Oh, thank you. I know what it is. It is confounding mildness. They find me too highly spiced, if you will. And no doubt I am highly spiced.
Not for my taste.
No, but I am for theirs. But I will show the world I can be as mild as he. If they want insipidity, they shall have it. I will meet this fellow on his own ground and beat him on it.
You shall, and I will help you.
You will. Jane, there's a good deal of good in you after all.
I've been waiting the whole first act for you to notice. I'll tell you what you're gonna do. So go to him and say to him with compliment ironical.
Sing hey to you, good day to you, and that's what I shall say.
Your style is much too sanctified, your cut is too canonical.
Sing ba to you, ha ha to you, and that's what I shall say.
I was the beau ideal of the morbid young aesthetical. To doubt my inspiration was regarded as heretical, until you cut me out with your placidity emetical.
Poo to you, and that's what I shall say. Sing boo to you, poo to you, and that's what I shall say.
Sing hey to you, good day to you, sing day to you, ha to you, sing ba to you, poo to you, and that's what you should say. Sing hey to you, good day to you, sing ba to you, ha to you, sing ba to you, and that's what I shall say.
And that's what I shall say. Ba, ba, and that's what I shall say. I'll tell him that unless he will consent to be more jocular.
Sing poo to you, poo to you, and that's what you should say.
To cut his curly hair and stick an eyeglass in his ocular.
Sing ba to you, ha to you, and that's what you should say.
To stuff his conversation full of quibble and of quiddity. To dine on chops and roly-poly pudding with avidity. He'd better clear away with all convenient rapidity.
Sing boo to you, poo to you, and that's what you should say.
Sing boo to you, poo to you, and that's what I shall say. Hey
to you, good day to you,
good day
to you, ha to you, sing
ba
to you, poo to you, and
ha ha.
hey to you, good day to you,
Poo
to you, ha to you, sing
ba,
to you,
and that's what I shall say. And that's what I shall say. Ba, ba, and that's what I shall say.
It's clear that medieval art alone retains its zest. To charm and please its devotees, we've done our little best. We're not quite sure if all we do has the early English ring, but as far as we can judge, it's something like this sort of thing. You hold yourself like this. You hold yourself like that. By hook and crook, you try to look both angular and flat. We venture to expect that what we recollect, though but a part of true high art, will have its due effect. If this is not exactly right, we hope you won't upbraid. You can't get high aesthetic taste like trousers ready-made. To muse some medieval in some time alone
will bring. But as far as we can judge, it's something like this sort of thing. You hold yourself like this. You hold yourself like that. By hook and crook, you try to look both way, you low and flat. To cultivate the trim rigidity of limb, you ought to get a marionette and form your style on him.
Ah! Woo!
Yes, it's clear that our only chance of making a lasting impression on these young ladies is to become as aesthetic as they are.
No doubt. The only question is how far we've succeeded in doing so. I don't know why, but I have an idea. This is not quite right.
I don't like it. I never did. I don't see what it means. I do it, but I don't like it.
My good friend, the question is not whether we like it, it's whether they like it. They understand these things. We don't. Now, I shouldn't be surprised if this is effective enough. At a distance.
I can't help thinking we're a bit stiff at it.
Perhaps we're a little awkward at first, but everything must have a beginning. Oh, here they come. 10, churn.
Descended upon them, and they are of the inner brotherhood, perceptibly intense and consummately utter.
How Botticellian! How Fra Angelican! Oh, Art, we thank thee for this boon.
I'm afraid we're not quite right.
Oh, not supremely, perhaps, but but Sapphire, are they not quite too but?
They are indeed jolly utter.
I wonder what the inner brotherhood usually recommend for cramp.
Ladies, we will not deceive you. We are doing this at some personal inconvenience, with a view of expressing the extremity of our devotion to you. We trust it is not without its effect.
Oh, we will not deny that we are very much moved by this proof of your attachment.
Yes, your conversion to the principles of aesthetic art in its highest development has touched us deeply.
And Mr. Grosvenor should remain obdurate.
Which we have every reason to believe he will.
I wish they'd make haste.
We are not prepared to say that our yearning hearts will not go out to you.
By sections of 3, rapture.
Oh, rapture! Oh, for heaven's sake. Thank you very much.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Rapture.
Extremely good. For beginners, admirable.
The only question is, who will take who?
Oh, the Duke chooses first as a matter of course.
I couldn't figure it. You're much too good.
Nothing of the kind. You are a great matrimonial fish. And it is only fair that these ladies should have a chance of hooking you. It's perfectly simple, observe. Suppose you choose Angela, I take Saphia, Major takes nobody. Suppose you choose Saphia. Major takes Angela, I take nobody. Suppose you choose neither. I take Angela, Major takes Saphia. Clear as day.
If Saphia I choose to marry, I shall be fixed up for life. Then the colonel need not tarry, Angela can be his wife.
In that case of precedent and single, I shall live and die. I shall have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy.
He will have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy.
In that case, unprecedented single, I shall live and die. He will have to be contented with the heart that sympathize. He will have to be contented with the heart that sympathize. He will have to be contented with the heart that sympathize.
If on Angie I determine, at my wedding she'll appear, decked in diamond and ermine, Major then can wed Saphia.
In that case of precedented single, I shall live and die. I shall have to be contented with a heart that sympathize.
He will have to be contented with a heart that sympathize.
In that case, unprecedented single, he will live and die. He shall have to be contented with the heart that sympathize. He shall have to be contented with the heart that sympathize. He shall have to be contented with the heart that sympathize.
After some debate internal, if on neither I decide, Saphia then can wed the colonel, Angie be the major's bride. In that case unprecedented, single I shall live and die. I shall have to be contented with their heartfelt sympathy.
He will have to be contented with a heart that sympathize.
In that case, unprecedented single, he will live and die. He will have to be contented with the heart that sympathize. He will have to be contented with the heart that sympathize. He will have to be contented with the heart that sympathize.
It is very pleasant to be alone. It is pleasant to be able to gaze at leisure upon those features which all others may gaze on at their good will. I am a very Narcissus.
It's no use, I can't live without admiration. Since Grosvenor came here, insipidity has been at a premium. Ah, he is there.
Ah, Bunthorne, come here, look. Very graceful, isn't it?
Allow me, I haven't seen it. Oh, yes, it is graceful.
Good gracious, not that. This.
You don't mean that. But I'm in no mood for trifling.
And what is amiss?
Ever since you came here, you have entirely monopolized the attentions of the young ladies. I don't like it, sir.
My dear sir, how can I help it? They are the plague of my life. My dear Mr. Bunthorne, with your personal disadvantages, you can have no idea the inconvenience of being madly loved at first sight by every woman you meet.
Sir, until you came here, I was adored!
Exactly, until I came here. That's my grievance. I cut everybody out. My dear Mr. Bunthorne, if only you could suggest some means whereby, consistently with my duty to society, I could escape those inconvenient attentions, you would earn my everlasting gratitude.
I shall do so at once. However popular it may be with the world at large, your personal appearance is highly objectionable to me.
It is? Oh, thank you. Thank you. How can I express my gratitude?
By making a complete change at once. Your conversation must henceforth be perfectly matter of fact. You must cut your hair and have a back parting. In appearance and costume, you must be absolutely commonplace.
No, pardon me, but that's impossible.
Take care. When I am thwarted, I can be very terrible.
Well, I can't help that. But I am a man with a mission, and that mission must be fulfilled.
I don't think you quite appreciate the consequences of thwarting me.
I don't care what they are.
Suppose, and I won't go so far as to say that I would do it, but suppose, for one moment, I were to curse you! Very well, take care.
But surely you would never do that.
I don't know, it would be an extreme measure, no doubt. Still...
But you would not do it. I am quite sure you would not. Oh, Mr. Bunthorne, reflect. You had a mother once.
Never!
Then you had an aunt. I see that you had. By the memory of that aunt, I implore you, pause ere you resort to this last fearful expedient. Oh, Mr. Bunthorne, reflect.
I must not allow myself to be unmanned. It is useless. Consent at once, or may a nephew's curse...
Hold! Are you absolutely resolved?
Absolutely.
Will nothing shake you?
Nothing, I am adamant.
Very good. Then I yield.
You swear it?
I do. Cheerfully. I have long wished for a reasonable pretext to make such a change as you suggest. It has come at last. I do it on compulsion.
Victory, I triumph! When I go out a door, of damosels a score, a sighing, burning, and clanging, and yelling will follow me as before. I shall with cultured taste distinguish gems from paste, and high diddle will rank as niddle if I pronounce it chaste. A most intense young man, a soulful-eyed young man, an ultra-poetical, super-aesthetical, out-of-the-way young man. Conceive me if you can, an everyday young man, a commonplace type with a stick and a pipe and a harp, redneck and tan, who thinks suburban pops more fun than Monday pops, who's fond of his dinner and doesn't get thinner on bottled beer and chops. A commonplace young man, a matter-of-fact young man, a steady and stolid, jolly bank holiday, everyday young man. A Japanese young man, a blue and white young man, Francesca da Rimini, Mimini, Pimini, je ne sais quoi young man. A Chancery Lane young man, a Somerset House young man, a very delectable, highly respectable threepenny bus young man. A Paladin Thin young man, a haggard and lank young man, a greenery gallery, room in a gallery, foot in the grave young man. A Sewell and Cross young man, a Howell and James young man, a pushing young particle, what's the next article, Waterloo House young man. Conceive me if you can, a matter-of-fact young man, a poetical, aesthetical, out-of-the-way young man. Conceive me if you can, a matter-of-fact young man, a poetical, aesthetical, out-of-the-way young man. It's all right. I have committed my last act of ill nature, and am henceforth a changed character.
Reginald, dancing! And, what in the world is the matter with you?
Patience, I'm a changed man. Hitherto I have been gloomy, moody, fitful, uncertain in temper, and selfish in disposition.
You have indeed.
But all that has changed. I have reformed. I have modelled myself upon Mr. Grosvenor. Henceforth, I am mildly cheerful, My conversation will blend amusement with instruction. I shall still be aesthetic, but my aestheticism will be of the most pastoral kind.
Oh, Reginald, is all this true?
Quite true. Observe how amiable I am.
But, Reginald, how long will this last?
With occasional intervals for rest and refreshment. As long as I do.
Oh, Reginald, I'm so happy. Oh, dear, dear Reginald, I cannot express the joy I feel at this change. It will no longer be a duty to love you, but a pleasure, a rapture, an ecstasy.
My darling!
Oh. But, oh, horror!
What's the matter?
Is it quite certain that you have absolutely reformed, that you are henceforth a perfect being, utterly free from defect of any kind?
It is quite certain. I have sworn it.
Then I can never be yours.
Why not?
Love to be pure must be absolutely unselfish, and there can be nothing unselfish in loving so perfect a being as you have now become.
But stop a bit. I don't want to change. I'll relapse. I'll be as I was. Interrupted!
Waterloo House, young man, a Sewell and Cross, young man, a steady and stolidly jolly bank holiday every day, young man.
We're swells and wells, young girls, we're Madame Louise, young girls, we're prettily cluttering, cheerily chattering every day, young girls.
Angela? Ella? Safia? What? What does this mean?
It means that Archibald be all right cannot be all wrong, and if the all right chooses to discard aestheticism, it proves that aestheticism ought to be discarded.
Oh, Archibald, Archibald, I'm shocked, surprised, horrified.
I can't help it. I'm not a free agent. I do it on compulsion.
Whoa! This is terrible. Go! I shall never set eyes on you again. But, oh joy!
What's the matter?
Is it quite certain that you will always be a commonplace young man?
Always. I've sworn it.
Why then, there's nothing to prevent my loving you with all the fervor at my command.
That's true.
My Archibald!
My patience.
Crushed again!
Cheer up, I'm still here. I've never left you, and I never will.
Thank you, Jane. After all, there's no denying you're a fine figure of a woman.
My Reginald.
My Jane.
Ladies, the Duke at length has determined to select a bride.
I have a great gift to bestow. Approach, such of you as are truly lovely. In personal appearance, you have everything necessary to make a woman happy. In common fairness, I ought to choose the only one among you who has the misfortune to be distinctly plain.
Oh.
Jane.
Duke!
fate internal, I am Lady Jane decide. Sapphire then can wed the colonel, Angie be the major's bride.
In that case, unprecedented, single I must live and die. I shall have to be contented with a tulip or a lie.
He will have to be contented with a tulip or a lie. In that case, unprecedented, single he must live and die. He will have to be contented with a tulip or a lie.